Executive Director for the Washington State Association of Counties.
I'm David Bodor from the Executive Director of the Association of Indiana Counties.
I'm David Keene, the Chief Financial Officer for the National Association of Counties.
Well, we invest our reserves that we have and cash flow that we have available, and we typically have gone through a very simple process with a local bank and looking for higher return, higher yield.
In my role as CFO for NACo, investments falls under my portfolio, and we're in a environment where interest rates are declining, so I'm always looking for new solutions.
In recent years, our investment policy has changed because it's just so difficult to get a good return on really any product. And so we've actually pulled away from CDs in recent years and really just kept money in savings accounts for the liquidity of it. And we found that trying to purchase CDs was so labor intensive. That was another reason we stayed away from it, because the return on an investment was so small and the effort to actually try to find a competitive CD really became a burden.
You know, county treasurers in our state have very interesting responsibilities, and one of those is to invest on behalf of just not the county but also junior taxing districts within Washington State. And about a quarter of ours are now doing that in an investment pool locally, not using the state investment pool because they want higher returns and higher yields. The transparency, extremely important. The reporting, extremely important. The ability to document, extremely important. So internal controls, very important.
The salespeople from Multi-Bank Securities, which is the brokerage firm behind eConnectDirect, called on me and asked if I'd take a look at it. And when I did, I was just amazed, because it offered transparency into the marketplace. So it made my job of investing so much easier.
You know, the most unique feature for me was it was just extremely intuitive and user-friendly, is to be able to utilize it, understand it, the screenshots, everything about it was just extremely intuitive as a user. So that was my first reaction.
With eConnect, what we found is it brings so much transparency and information to us. We are now getting back into the CD purchasing business. And the connectivity, the transparency, it really empowers me as someone who's making investments on behalf of the association to make sure we're going to get a high return and a safe investment.
So you have to really understand, first, as an investor, an institutional investor, you really have three goals, which are security of the funds, liquidity, and then increasing yield. And tool like eConnectDirect is just transformational, because your historical investment model is where you call a broker and you just accept what they offer. eConnectDirect offers transparency into the marketplace, which empowers me to be able to know what's out there and make informed decisions.
My second reaction was, the ability to search, and to search whether it's on an individual state level, whether it's individual types of bonds we were interested in. All of those things were just very, very easy to do and excellent tools.
I think the thing I was most impressed with was the amount of return on CDs that are actually available that our local banks weren't offering to me. And by going directly to eConnect, I could see a higher return opportunities immediately. And so that's what I like the best, and the fact that it was all on one page and I wasn't making an effort to contact financial institutions to ask them or email them, what is your return today on a CD? And I can go in and type in the specific time frame I'm looking for, the amount of money, and get the return rate immediately. And that just makes it so much more convenient and saves me a lot of time.
The best analogy I could come up with is, for those of you over 35, you remember the day of travel agents, where you wanted to book a trip, you had to call around to travel agents and guess as to, shop for the best price. Well, now the internet's brought it about where you go on Orbitz or Travelocity and you can see all that's out there. So with the touch of a button, you can make informed choices. And that's really what this brings to the institutional investor.
We have 39 counties in Washington State. There's well over 3,000 nationwide. And the ability for these counties to have access to information, whether they utilize it in the end or not as a direct investment tool, or they utilize it as the ability to check on the information that they're getting from their broker. All of that will be very, very important to every county that's trying to maximize and leverage their investments that they're making on behalf of their citizens.
Because your goal is to increase yield without increasing risk, effectively what you're trying to do is come up with ways to be a better informed investor. And so anything that provides transparency to the marketplace allows you to be empowered, better informed, so that when you're making decisions, you're not beholden to what someone else is telling you is out there. That in itself is a huge advantage, not only for NACo, but for institutional investors like county treasurers and city treasurers. And I personally think eConnectDirect is going to help transform the institutional investment industry. So, you know, if you get in now, you're going to be on the wave of change versus waiting 10 years when everybody's trying to do this.
It provided us easy access. It provided us the right internal control, because we want to make sure that the investments that we're making are responsible and are within the policies and the investment policies that we have. And so it provided us the tool to be able to do that.
Just the simplicity of it and the ease of use and getting to see those rates of returns firsthand really empowers me, as again, for someone who's investing on behalf of the association, to make sure I can get the highest rate of return for our investment.
It was high touch, high tech, is that even though this is all online, you still behind that have a broker that you can utilize and verify what you're thinking and what you're seeing. And so even though it's high tech, a lot of technology, use of the internet, you still have someone to support you both on the broker side and the investment side, as well as on the technology side.
So like I was talking about with the travel agencies and how there are very few of them around. When you look at the way institutional investments are done, the bond and CD marketplace is one of the last places where there's not transparency. And you're relying on that middleman. And you look around at the world, and technology is changing everything, and it's going to change this as well. And so I find it interesting that, you know, when a lot of people in the general public think of local government, they don't think of innovation and transformation. By going about it this way, county government could actually be ahead of the business industry in the way they do investing. We could actually do it better than they do it, more efficient. And I think that would just be tremendous. It would change the way not only the general public looks about the way government operates, it also will change the way government thinks about itself, because we'll be doing it better than anybody else, and we'll be making smarter choices.